I mean, there was
subtlety, though.
yeah. I mean, he was good, but it wasn't like, I don't know. It was an undeveloped character, but it kind of gets you into the world for it, you know?
And to me, it was very believable. Like, you just knew what was going on with his look and how he was portraying his character, like, without even saying words sometimes.
Yeah. I think he did a great job.
He really made it a lot more deep.
Yeah, it would have been really cool is if they got rid of Taye Diggs in this movie and then had Sean Bean in the movie most of the time.
You're talking about Brant, yeah.
Yeah, Taye Diggs, the other cleric that came in, which he was another one. And then Sean Pertwee, he was he was the what is it? I guess father or some shit like that. Who was the guy that
the father.
Yeah, that came up with all the rules and the Prosium or some shit like that.
Right. He was basically like the founder of
actually
Libria.
Libria.
Which is funny because that's another drug, Librium.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that dude was on Doomsday Soldier, Event Horizon. I mean, the guy's been in a lot of stuff too.
Absolutely.
Then William Fichtner, that's the guy that I was talking about. He was on Armageddon, Strange Days, Virtuosity.
Yeah, he was in a lot of things.
Anything in that 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, a lot of these people were in, you know.
And he was on that same show with the other guy that Prison Break show too.
Yeah. He's kind of like a good background actor for a lot of things, and he's a good character actor, I guess. Yeah. Then Angus McFadden.
Yes.
Robert the Bruce. Yeah, you've seen Braveheart, haven't you?
Braveheart?
Brave fart.
Yeah, fart.
Yes.
Yeah. He's like, freedom! And it was just to release his gas. He's on the deal and they open his stomach. It's like,
it worked. Whoever invents Beano is my best friend.
It's freedom from the haggis.
Yeah.
They just press on his stomach until he farts in the rack.
It wins the war.
Yeah. They're like, whoa.
I'm not going close to that guy.
Yeah, he's not tense anymore.
I'm just going to head over here. I don't know about you guys.
There's a lot of fort.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So he plays the Vice Consul DuPont, which I find also a great alliteration to the DuPont company. But that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
They're responsible for a lot of things in the world you probably don't know about. But anyways.
Yeah.
That's for another podcast, not ours.
Now, I mean, we've already talked about...
But Angus McFadden.
Yeah,
looks like a douchebag. Yes.
Yeah.
Very punchable face.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's kind of like I guess he's like the originator of Gunkata in the movie or some shit like that. Because he's pretty good at it.
He definitely doesn't look like he's done gym kata before.
No.
I feel like he's tightening his butthole at all times.
Yeah.
Just a constant state of just
He's just sucking in.
Yeah. It's awful.
We've already talked about Taye Diggs.
Is it Tay or Ty?
I don't know.
I always called him Ty Diggs, but I say people's names wrong all the time.
You could just say it like Southern, like Ty Diggs.
Ty Diggs.
I'm going to call him Brant through this episode because that's his character's name.
Yes.
Like when they say, "Can you hand me the pen?" You're like, "The pin? No, the pen.
The pen."
You're like, "Whoa." So it's like Ty.
And then the last one that I want to mention out of all of these people, this guy was a former American gladiator.
Oh my goodness!
I don't even know where he appears in this movie. But
which one?
Danny Lee Clark. He was Nitro.
Oh, Nitro.
Yeah, Nitro. I still wish I could.
Blazer.
Yeah. Blazer.
Those guys all had great names.
Yeah.
California.
Yes.
No, that's too many syllables, dude.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. American Gladiators was the shit back
It was.
It
was cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. Especially the one where you shot the missile with the fucking Nerf dart.
I was always kind of pissed off because it was on Friday nights.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I want to go do things on Friday nights. You know, I'm like 14. Come on, man.
I don't have a tape to record on.
Oh my God, yeah. We're so spoiled nowadays. Yeah.
It's like you set the timer, but it takes like a fucking, like you have to write into the like fucking television station, find out what time they do it. They send you a letter back and then you're like, okay, in VCR, set time for 12:15 on 7th. Okay, good. And then you get back and it records the fucking news.
That's exactly. You're like, motherfucker.
And just the beginning of the show because you put it in Eastern time.
Yes. Yeah. On accident somehow. And the VCR knows Eastern time. So you got
like the first 5 minutes of the movie there, whatever you were wanting to hear, the show you were wanting to record, and you're like, oh, it's American Gladiators. It's about to be. Oh.
And then you see that fade on the screen. It's like, and the news comes up.
I had it where a football game ran too long, right? And it pushed everything back.
Oh, yeah.
So it just showed, hold on. However it worked out, it recorded the very end of the episode at the beginning, right? And then it went into the news. So it totally got off sync somehow.
Right, sure.
But either way, it spoiled the ending. It was like boom, ending, and you're like, oh. And I was like, motherfucker. Oh, it hurt my soul.
Yes.
I'm okay though. I recovered. I came back.
Okay. Well,
and we're glad you did, Mitch.
Thanks, you're back.
Oh, jeez.
Welcome back.
Let's get into this movie. We've talked about the titular characters.
The titular?
Titular.
Words.
Their names weren't in the title.
I just spent $3.
$3.
That's a $3 word, son.
Equilibrium. His name was Preston Equilibrium, wasn't it?
Oh, my God.
I believe it was John Preston.
Preston Equilibrium.
Preston Quill. Libra.
Instead of Esquire,
Liberia.
it's Equilibrium.
Equilibrium.
Quill
Liberia.
Esquire. Edward Quayle, Liberia. Equilibrium.
Library.
Librarian.
Libraria. That's where I thought that the place was set. It was in Libraria.
They have a lot of knowledge.
Well, they
books.
have to have that. Yeah, but they got rid of the books, so it's just like a boring ass library.
Except for his books.
Yeah.
The only purpose is to go in there and sit down.
No, I meant.
And then be quiet. That's it. No toys, no anything.
Yes.
No books.
Yeah, not even one of those things that you find at the doctor's office that moves the little wooden fucking beads across the fucking the weird little fucking train.
You might be inspired.
Yes, there we go.
Just take all the saturation out of everything.
Yeah, no color. It's just black and white.
Yeah,
it's a Rubik's Cube in black and white.
So how do we want to do this? Do we want to break down?
Well, I mean, we can really literally just kind of hit on some important parts. I mean, we need to tell what the story is, of course.
Let's get into that.
It's basically at the end of World War III, right? So I guess the world is destroyed except for certain parts.
Why don't we do this? I'll just read that part that comes on the screen real quick.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
In the first years of the 21st century, a third world war broke out. Those of us who survived knew mankind could never survive a fourth. That our own volatile natures could simply no longer be risked, so we have created a new arm of the law, the Grammaton Cleric, whose sole task it is to seek out and eradicate the true source of man's inhumanity to man, his ability to feel.
With efficiency.
Yes. Yeah. But, you know, what I notice in a lot of this, there's people smile. They laugh.
No.
And I'm like,
I don't think so. I think Ty Diggs and
they weren't on
DuPont. They're the only ones that smiled and laughed.
Yeah, because he's like, he had emotion. He had emotion.
Yeah.
Well, and he smiles all the time.
Yeah, he's smiling the whole time.
Yeah. And then so does Vice Consul DuPont.
Yeah.
He smiles like you can tell he's being a condescending dick.
He's got a lot of
he's got that pride, you know what I mean?
Well, he most likely wasn't taking
No, I don't think either one of them were.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because he had a picture in his office.
Oh, yeah, and Diggs was in on it, so he probably wasn't taking it either. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of gave him the ability.
Or Cleric Brandt.
Cleric.
Cleric.
You Diggs.
But that's this is that beginning part, though. I do real quick when they bust in and your boy's looking at the
Dracula.
Yeah, Dracula. when Dracula's looking at the painting, and then they're like policed, and that whole bust in scene. Yeah, that was pretty badass.
It was. That's what I like. That was the beginning of the world building for that part of it. Kind of really showed you the savagery of what they were doing to get rid of it.
It captures you right away to want to watch what happens.
They got that right, and then enter Christian Bale.
Yeah,
you know,
seriously, Rex House.
Yeah, doing the gun kata. One thing that I noticed is he only reloads one time in this whole movie.
Oh, dude! He reloads several times, but just in that one scene.
In that one scene, he has to shoot at least 80 times, and I'm thinking, where the fuck does that shit come from?
So So let me be completely honest. When he does the gun kata in the first scene and it's like black and you just see him doing that, the sound here, let's take a great concept, right? I'm down with the concept.
Yes.
This is cool. Something different, right?
Yes.
I like this.
Yes.
Let's make it as fucking cheesy as possible.
Yes, exactly.
That's what they
These
did.
awesome sound effects like what? No, I'm talking about like when he was doing the gun kata shit and like his arms are making the noises.
And
You know what I mean?
the motion
And the
blur
motion
that they put
blur,
on the
yes.
CGI was
all
weird.
together. That was like the dumbest scene
yeah.
ever. And there was no point, in my opinion. You didn't need all that extra shit.
And later in the movie, they even show like how they do cut scenes to kind of help that transition look real, and you can tell he's actually doing it, or more or less if it was CGI, bravo, but it wasn't.
It's a cool martial art concept.
It was just too CGI.
But that initial scene too, because now you've set some sort of weird tone.
Yeah.
Like if you'd pulled that out, I feel like this would be a better movie.
Or just
if he just went in and wrecked shit. You know what I mean?
Even
without,
if he did it
without doing it in the light.
We didn't need like that particular shot of that happening.
You could literally
and no
just
special effect, no sound effects.
Just make so the gun flash is the only time you see his hands, so they're never actually moving. You just see him at the new position.
Yes.
That would have fixed it.
Yeah, 100%.
But they had to show, and that's in my notes too. I put in here. I still find it a little cheesy.
Yeah,
dude,
and I think that's one of
the
the reasons why I don't like this movie as much as a lot of other movies, is because it does feel a little contrived, a little cheesy, just in the way that it was done. Now, of course, that was pretty awesome when he got done, and his gun barrels are all fucking
glowing.
red.
Yeah.
And they actually start glowing afterwards.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I feel like it was like a pan to it, and it was coming into it, but it doesn't show any motion coming up to it. So
Correct.
it's weird.
I thought it was cool. Him jumping through the door was
As
pretty
it was
legit.
exploding.
Yeah, correct. They hit the
Charges.
Well, no, they shoot him with the shotguns, right? And they get the hinges.
Oh yeah.
And then the lock, and he just knocks
That's
it
right.
in, and and they're like, it's dark in there.
I feel like Christian Bale walked back, turned around, getting ready for this, and in his head, he's just thinking like, "I am lightning, I am speed."
Yes,
he's like getting ready for this shit.
Batman.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
Well, one of the things with the graphics of that scene with the motion, I wrote down because at the very end, that one introducer or whatever is like saying the inhumanity to man.
Yeah,
and I was like, yeah, the inhumanity to man is these graphics.
Right. Yeah.
Wait until the backflip later.
I think so. They said that it makes the tetragammon symbol every time he fires from the muzzle.
Oh,
in the CG, they went in post-production wise and then added that symbol into the muzzle flash.
And Tetragammon is like the overall group that's running everything.
Yes, yeah, they're the ones.
Tetragrammon's actually the letters from the Hebrew, Hebrew that spell Yahweh.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
so God.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a kind of a.
So that's kind of deep.
Yeah, I know. I mean, thought out wise, in this world is thought out wise, because after they get done with this, then they're riding in this really nice 1998 Cadillac. You know what I mean? And they have
future Cadillac
from
2072, sir.
Cadillac is the only one to win the Detroit Wars back then, I guess. You know what I mean? After World
I didn't
War.
even know it was a Cadillac. I was like, is that a Ford? When I first saw it from the front, I'm like, is that a Ford Taurus?
No, seriously, it's like an all-white Cadillac STS.
Ah, gotcha.
The coolest part was the interior on that. I was like, this is pretty legit. Right? Yeah, 1998.
When they were riding in the car, that's the first time I actually remember like hearing Christian Bale's voice and going, he kind of has that Keanu Reeves voice.
Kind of. Yeah. Because at that, I
just heard
could
it
see
there,
a lot of parallels.
I don't know why, but it just like rang out to me and I heard it. But I mean, like, I know I always make fun, like, Matrix with this movie and all that kind of stuff, like the last one as well.
Yeah.
But it was just weird because I heard it and I wasn't like looking at the TV at that time, and I was like, Keanu. Oh no,
it's Christian Bale.
Weird. Yeah.
I mean, Sean Bean does some good behind Christian Bale acting where he's showing emotion. You're seeing his emotion, but you're not seeing Christian Bale's emotion throughout that whole deal, even when he burns the Mona Lisa.
Yeah, so like that's the last scene that you have there is where he's just watching Sean Bean's character, Cleric Partridge.
Yeah.
Where he's just watching the Mona Lisa burn.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And you could see the emotion in his eyes. And that's really, you're kind of leading through that with him into the next scene, where he's got the book.
He totally gets busted in like a shitty way. Like you get busted from stealing at the Walden Books. You know what I mean?
Those people, everybody that steals a book is stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it's
So
like,
Sean being Christian Bale.
yeah.
Basically.
They both get busted the same way.
Oh,
Yeah, they have the same conversation too.
I know the exact. He's like, oh, what did he tell me?
Yeah.
I almost bought that.
Yeah, why didn't you leave that for them to pick up?
Dude, that was eerie because it gave you like a deja vu feeling.
Yeah.
The second time because it was the same. It was like out of his pocket. The same.
Was there ever a Sean
Everything.
Bean?
But at that point,
Dun, dun, dun.
this is